Hey everyone, I got a question on Instagram asking how I came up with this idea, so I thought I'd answer that really quickly before we actually get into the video. So, I decided to start grid4girls because the hate on social media and the hate that women get in particular in the Formula One community via mainly TikTok but many social media platforms is incredibly awful, and it is so unnecessary. And so I wanted to start this to show that women have a place in motorsport, and just to make people aware that, you know, women, just because maybe women have less representation in the sport doesn't mean that we don't know anything about the sport. And just because we enjoy it, we don't watch it for the drivers. Even if maybe some people might make a little bit of a joke about it or whatever, it doesn't mean that we sit there and watch it for the drivers. I know I definitely don't. When we get the comments constantly telling us that we aren't real fans or we can't watch it, we only watch it for the drivers, it can get quite overwhelming, and you can start to kind of think that you shouldn't be watching it, and that is definitely not the case. And so that is why I wanted to start grid4girls. If you do have any other questions, please leave them below and I will get back to you all about that. But yeah, I think that is it for now. I hope you enjoy the video. We're just answering a couple of your questions before we actually start making proper content for you. We actually have a very exciting guest in our next video, which will be coming in about a week, so you'll have that to look forward to. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe down below. I'm Katie and I'm 17.
I'm Sebastian and I'm 19 years old.
I'm Danielle and I'm 16.
I'm Gemma and I'm 14.
I'm Hind and I'm 15.
Okay, so I'm Maudie and I'm 16.
I'm Megan and I'm 15.
I'm Lucy and I'm 15.
How did you all get into Formula One?
I was watching F1 for like years, and then I watched Drive to Survive with my sister and then really got into it. So yeah.
My family basically all did rallying when I was younger, so I grew up around that. And then my granddad and my uncle and cousin does go-karting, and then watched F1, and then I got into F1, and then I watched Drive to Survive, and then I got really into it. So
I think I've always watched Formula One with my dad. The first season I really remember was like the last season that Michael Schumacher became world champion. And after that, the most vivid season is probably the 2012 season. That was the season that really captured me into F1, and I've watched every single race since then. And I'm also way too deep into technical stuff with Formula One because it's just really interesting to read up about all the cars and what they do and what drives a Formula One car.
I kind of got into F1 like over the last year a lot more, but my dad always had races and things on. He loves F1, so I kind of watched it with him like now and again. But my friend group that I'm in with 2 or 3 boys, they've loved F1 for years, and it's became a big thing in the group chat. So we all just kind of got a lot more into it, really. So
I watched Drive to Survive on Netflix, and like I became obsessed, like really badly obsessed. But it's okay because yeah.
So I don't remember really my first season watching it, but my dad and uncle and their friend would always watch Formula One, and I was a little girl, so I would watch along with them and ask all weird questions. Sometimes they didn't even know it. After a few years back, they got motorcycles, so I was into the technical stuff also of that and the mechanical stuff, and then also in Formula One. So that's actually how I started with it.
I've always really watched it with my parents, but the first like full season that I remember watching was 2016 when Rosberg won the championship and then left, and I was quite gutted because I love Rosberg. But then last year I kind of got into like behind the scenes and like everything that goes into it a lot more. But yeah, I've always watched the races with my parents.
Well, my parents watched it, especially my father. He was for Nico Rosberg, I think, at the time. And I kind of watched it with him when I was younger, like around 4. And in 2010, I can remember watching it, and the only person I could remember driving was Sebastian Vettel. And that's kind of why I am a fan of his. And since 2018, I think, I got really into F1 and everything that goes around it. And yeah.
What is everybody's favorite livery of all time?
Ooh.
Oh, mine has to be either the current Aston Martin livery or the old black Mercedes livery from last year in Sakir. That one.
I really can't decide, to be honest.
My all-time
Okay.
favorite Formula One livery is probably the Red Bull Star Wars livery from the 2005 Monaco Grand Prix, because I'm also really obsessed with Star Wars. So that's an obvious pick for me. Star Wars and Formula One is like the perfect combination. It's the closest. Formula One is the closest thing we have to pod racing.
I definitely love the old like McLaren sort of ones, but I love the Aston Martin one right now as well. So
The old McLarens are so pretty.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Facts.
I love the like McLaren Marlboro one, the like red, like the orangey red and white. It's so nice. And then I love the Aston Martin one as well. That's just beautiful.
I don't really remember much F1 cars, but the V12 is like the sound. This is one of my favorites. Further, I don't have anymore.
Like the old McLaren. Jesus, I can't think of the name. Sorry. Old McLaren or the new Aston Martin is pretty snazzy.
Well, mine is, I mean, I can't really say anything other than the current McLaren because I kind of dedicated my car to the McLaren. So last year's McLaren and this year's, because they're both pretty much the same, but I loved last year's with like the rainbow on the halo. That was my favorite thing ever. And what is your favorite road car aside from like motorsports? Your favorite just road car?
I love the Aston Martin Vantage. It's the safety car. It's beautiful. And I love the McLaren 720 as well. And the Audi R8. Oh, so stunning. Anyway.
That is
My favorite road car is the Koenigsegg Gera Finale 1 of 1. It's like the most gorgeous car on the world. It's like a 6.3 million euro hypercar, mega car with 1300 horsepower and crazy amounts of downforce. It's so pretty.
I'll go next then. I like the Aston Martin. Oh, what's it called? I think it's like DBS Superlega type thing. It's a really pretty car. But if I didn't have that, then I'd probably just get like a Audi or a
DBS
Tesla or
Superleggera.
something, whatever.
The McLaren 570S is like a fancy car, if you know what I mean. And then I like Annie BM, I like a royal blue BM. They're gorgeous. And then like it's like an old car. My dad has a Ford RS Escort and a bit obsessed.
Okay, so
yeah,
for
so nice.
all car fans and stuff, I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, but my favorite has to be the Aston Martin and then the DBX. Yeah.
Mine, I really like Skylines and GTRs, but I have to have a Miata, an MX-5, and tune it. Then my life is complete.
I am obsessed with Skylines. They're just so nice.
I love
They are
them.
really pretty.
There was one here.
JDM is like a car style or the car culture that I don't like Japanese cars. I don't know why.
Oh no,
I
JDM
never
is
liked
my
I never
favorite.
liked Japanese cars.
Oh,
Right,
they
who
are my
hasn't
favorite.
answered? I think it's Megan and Katie.
I quite like McLaren 578 as well. Probably like McLaren GT was quite nice as well, and then like the Aston Martin Vantage. That's kind of
Ooh, that was nice. Ooh.
Well, my like number one favorite is the McLaren Senna. It's just my favorite car ever. But any Subaru, literally any Subaru, they're just like my favorite cars ever.
Ooh.
And I want a
Yes.
Skyline. I just want, like, even if it's just a replica of like a really old Skyline, I don't care. I just want one so badly. So which tracks do you think bring the best racing in Formula One?
It's not really the track, it's the setting. If it's wet, it's good.
I think.
I agree.
I mean, we can all agree that Monaco sucks for the current
Yes.
cars because the racing is just so boring because you can't
Yeah.
overtake. The
Monaco
tracks
is
need
like
to be
a nice
wide.
track to watch for like if you were to go to Monaco to see it for like
Yeah,
Just 'cause it's Monaco.
Monaco
Because
is an
all the-
awesome race,
yeah.
but everything around it is just awesome. But the race itself is like the
Yeah.
least exciting part of that whole weekend.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I think I don't know. I'm like completely stumped. But my favorite tracks are probably Baku and Imola anyway. So probably and Silverstone as well. But
Spa
them three.
Spa is my
amazing.
favorite.
But
I just
I really want to go there. So bad.
Same.
And Old Hockenheim. Rip Old Hockenheim.
Yes.
Yeah.